when you say you are addicted to greed. Stop and turn you on, touching your soul and my knees. Friend, a friend to the end, that's how you with no anarchy. Don't regret it, you're freaked out, washed up, sound the individual pose. Can't you see another freaked out version of a rioting? Stop looking at the picture, because you can't see anyway. Hey, look, I got a t-shirt that I'm gonna wear another day. Stop looking at the picture, because you can't see anyway. Why do you freak when you say you are addicted to greed? Stop and turn you are infecting your soul and my knees. Yeah, friend, friend to the end, my soul, with no anarchy. Don't get it, you're freaked out, washed out, sound the individual pose. Can't you see another freaked out version of a rioting? Stop looking at the picture, because you can't see anyway. Hey, look, I got a t-shirt that I'm gonna wear another day. Stop looking at the picture, because you can't see anyway. Hey, look, I got a t-shirt that I'm gonna wear another day. Stop looking at the picture, because you can't see anyway.
G'day, viewers. This podcast is again brought to you by Koala Calm with a chill out drink. Sit back
Relax and
Enjoy yourself.
yay.
Hey Google, who is Greasy Belcher?
Sorry, I don't know how to help with that yet.
And that's the way it's going to stay, bitch.
Hey Google, tell me a dad joke.
What did Jay-Z call his wife before they got married?
Right.
Fiancé.
I don't get it.
Instead of Beyonce.
But why is that fee?
Because before they
Before
were
they were
married.
married.
I gotta stop. No, this is why I'm so bad at jokes. A fee.
Beyonce.
Oh my God, Drew, you're the only...
You're worse
I
than
gotta whip
me.
him some of that.
Tell Google, I don't get it.
Hey Google. Hey Google. Hey Google. Where is Dublin?
Dublin, Ireland is 16,754 kilometres away.
Hey Google. Hey Google. Who is Greasy Belcher?
On the website youtube.com, they say,
Ooh.
Danny, Greasy, Belcher, YouTube.
Is that right?
Dude, you've made it.
No, that's not me. That's an American guy.
Is it?
Who copied who?
No, nobody copied anybody. Basically, the idea was independent of each other. His name is Danny Belcher.
Yeah.
And he calls himself Danny Greasy Belcher, and he's a guy who's in the ex-American army guy who rescues prisoners of war who are still in countries. Well, doesn't rescue them, doesn't fly in like Rambo. He actually campaigns the government to negotiate their release. So that's.
Does he write about rock and roll?
No, but I actually sent him an email once.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said, man, I've been recording.
Hey, fucker.
Hey, no, I just said, hey,
There's only one.
I've been recording music as Greasy Belcher for years, 10 years. This was probably 10 years ago, or maybe 15 years, and this is 5 years ago. And I just said to him, yeah, I'm Greasy Belcher. That's what I've recorded as. And you're Danny Greasy Belcher. I hope this is all cool with you, because
Imagine if that was his actual name.
you know a lot of
Danny
veteran
Greasy.
soldiers. So.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Are we cool? And he just said, yeah, we're all good. He said that like what you're doing, whatever.
Right, cool.
So where did you
I
get...
don't own it. That's what
Do
he
you
said.
actually... Are your Belchers greasy?
No, it came about because when I first came to Australia 20 years ago, I was writing letters and postcards to all my mates, and one of them basically, I was sending them I was sending pictures of me on the beach, and I had long hair and a beard,
Yeah.
and looking pretty rock and roll, right? So I'm sending this back to people who knew me in Ireland with short hair, being all white skinned all the time and clean shaven, and he basically cut a picture of himself with his shirt off, and stuck it on an album cover and cut out loads of little pictures of like topless girls and put them around himself and put them all in a pool together.
Yeah.
He made an album cover that looked like he was in a pool with a lot of topless girls. And the album was called Greasy Belcher was the name of the artist, and it said grease up your fun bags, there's a party in my pants. That was the name of the album.
You have to say it in an Irish accent, though.
Grease up your fun bags, there's a party in my pants. So I just pissed myself laughing at that. And then and he was saying, his letter was saying, I'm becoming a rock star too, here's a copy of my album, send me your album and all this. And then about a year later, when I started recording music, the guy just said to me, what do you want to save this as? And I just said Greasy Belcher. And I just thought it was a funny thing to do with music. And I wanted to go far with it. And then, so then I'd recorded all this music. I put it under that name. And then I came up to the Gold Coast and Rowie started calling me that. And then everybody started calling me it.
Rika, can I tell you a funny story, right? So I was in a band with Greasy, the Bastards.
I know. I've seen you live
Oh, yeah.
at Mike Chauvel's 50th.
Oh, that was
Oh, that's where I met you.
that was a great gig.
That's where actually where I met. I was wearing a nurse's outfit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how's this, right? So yeah, I met this
I had
Greasy
that bear
Belcher.
hat on. Remember
This,
that hat?
this Greasy
You guys
Belcher
are
bloke
good, though. I
showed
love
up.
the Led Zeppelin.
Showed up at my shed on Wednesday nights. We all rehearsed in my shed Wednesday nights, and Greasy's from Ireland, lived in London for 10 years or more, or what. So he's like from another world when you're in the mountains of Currumbin Valley. Yeah. But he'd come from Sydney, where I used to live, so he had this sort of Sydney mind I could, connect to, right? But anyway, he still does, writes for a magazine called Unbelievably Bad, a great music magazine. What's Matt's last name?
Ricky.
Matt Recchi is the writer. Anyway, I didn't know any of this really, but so maybe after the sixth rehearsal, we started to record something. It's like, this is actually fucking great. We put down this great song. Hell yeah, right? Yeah. Recorded it. And we all, as a band, like bands do, especially young bands, you go, yeah! Oh my God, this is the best thing. Can you believe that sounds so good. It sounds so good. Right, so Greasy, right, had been writing to this, he started to, because he moved to the Gold Coast, started to mail in his writings. Right, so it's a monthly mag, isn't it?
Oh, well, it's normally about every 4 months.
Okay, yeah,
every
right.
4 months,
Yeah.
or 6 months. But since the last one has been a year now, so I'm just
right.
waiting to know just what's going on.
Yeah, and fair play. There's a bit of tragedy in the house there, but anyway.
Yeah.
So picture sweetheart Matt Recchi, right?
Yeah.
Who just gets these things from this Greasy Belcher, right? Greasy thought it'd be a great idea to write, like think of it as a band bit of promotion story. He actually wrote a letter in to the editor, Matt Recchi, of this magazine and said, I'm sorry to inform you, but Greasy Belcher has died. This is his final recording. This is someone from the band, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And we all thought, yeah, that's a fucking great idea, man. That's a great idea. But
Okay.
meanwhile, Matt just went, oh, dude. And like, it was phoning and messaging back. Greasy was a great guy. Oh, no, I'm so sorry. How'd he die? And then you had to explain it to
it's
him.
fucked.
Oh, no. That poor bloke.
I know, but that's music promotion.
You know what it was? It was the fact that we'd been corresponding by funny emails for years and never met each other and didn't know each other's faces, could have passed each other on the street, whatever, you know what I mean? And then as I said, that we just developed this thing where I was writing for them a lot, and it was a great thing to be involved with. Some talented people in there and brilliant bands. And yeah, I thought, you know what, I want to talk to this guy and tell him on the phone about how great this band is. So I wasn't promoting the band, I was excited and I wanted him to know. And I was like, I've finally got something to show this guy that I'm doing. It's cool again, because I've done a couple of things that fallen apart. And yeah, I wanted to make it
hatched
epic.
a plan that was so
I wanted
bad.
to make it epic when I rang him. So I sent that letter that said basically, Greasy's found dead this morning. This is his partner, and I don't know what to say. We'll contact you about the funeral if you want to go. Blah blah blah. It was like that, and
But it had a backstory. Like the plan was that you were going to release the record, like not to fool anyone, but to reveal It was like, from memory, there was like a reason to bury the Greasy Belcher name for a second for something. I remember, well, in the shed. It was Wednesday night, who knows?
Yeah, we were
But
fucking all
I remember
smashed.
being sold on the idea. Yeah, that sounds actually pretty awesome in the world of rock and roll. You know, like the White Stripes. You know, the great White
No, I
Stripes.
don't even think
They bullshit the
I don't
world
even
that they
think-
were brother
So
and sister.
Yeah.
I love that concept.
I
You
don't
know?
even think I consulted the band because it was something I did when I was probably stoned at late at night and just thought, it's going to be real funny.
Yeah.
Pretended to be dead.
But I remember you
It just
coming the
came
next
off the top of my
Wednesday
head
going,
that night.
oh, it was all different now. Like,
No,
well, Matt actually returned and
Yeah. I rang to tell the band, I was like, fucking well, I spoke to Matt,
yeah.
It was fucking nuts.
You're a bit cold. I'm a bit chilly.
It is a bit cold, eh? Let's
Yeah.
crank this.
I'm just back from Ireland, so it's freezing here. It's freezing in this 30-degree heat. I think it's sunburnt from being on the beach.
You are your forehead is like
I know.
glowing.
I know, it's like a boxing glove.
So you in the Crumb and Steps today. How many did you do? I shudder the thought.
No, I only did a few.
Yeah.
I only did a few because the day before yesterday, I was working and I was on my knees working for 9 hours solid, doing that cleaning business, and wiping all the grease out of ovens. Anyway, did 8 ovens in one day. It was the biggest day ever. And then today,
Wow.
like we normally do 3 in a day. We did 8 in a day because they were all in the same location. They're all the same kind of thing, and it was just a blitz. But yeah, then today I went out and said I've got to get my legs stretched, and I did some laps of the stairs and a bit of a run, and now I can feel it.
Rika,
Yes.
you know where we'd go on a stand-up paddleboard
Yeah.
up Currumbin Creek, and then pretty much kind of where we'd swim.
Yeah.
We'd all stop there, jump off, and we'd swim that little bit. But you wouldn't swim; you'd stand there and get cold.
Yeah, because
right?
it's freezing.
Well, that bit right there, if you got the Currumbin sort of hill,
Yeah.
like that whole hill
Yeah.
that's there. There's these steps, these old steps.
Yeah.
There might be 35 to 40 steps or
Oh,
something.
no, it's like 75 steps.
Yeah, okay. It's even worse. And they're old and they're kind of slippery. And once you see them, you got to climb up them once, and just they are a misery. And you'll notice that you keep seeing fit people run up and down these steps. They're kind of hidden. You never see them. You can't even see people running up them. They just enter into this bush here.
Yeah.
But it turns out to be like the climb of death. And then run
wanna
down.
try it.
Promise?
Promise.
We were supposed to go surfing last weekend, and you didn't do that either.
No, well, because okay. I had to take Corey to work at 11:30. You said you'd go at 9, and I'm thinking, 9's pushing it a bit, right? And then Yoshi goes, no, we want to go at 7. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Because I hadn't been sleeping, remember?
So it didn't happen.
No,
that's
it's
no
still
good.
on the cards though.
Still on the friend agenda.
Yeah, but I'd like to try that climb of death.
I prefer the walk of life.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Like, why is it the climb? Is it just that really taxing?
No, a fella died there last year.
Don't.
What? It's not called the climb of death by anyone other than Drew.
Now, it just turns out that this climbing steps is
Great exercise.
ridiculously hard, yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm actually quite confident that I can do it because when I went up to Magnetic Island, there's a nudist beach out there. It's called Balding Bay. The only way you can get there is to walk over like a mountain, and it's like,
Without accidentally stepping on a penis.
Yeah.
oh no,
Did you fall on any?
I never stood on a penis. I didn't even see any penises.
None? Really?
Not that I can remember. I wasn't really looking.
Did you take the lens cap off your telescope?
Is that what I did wrong? Damn it, I've got to go back now. No, but it's a hike. And
Hang on. So you went actually to a nudist beach?
Yeah.
You went looking for penis then?
No, we went there because Sandy, the girl I went to Magnetic Island with,
find us pictures of Rika naked on the beach.
she's not naked on the beach. But I was the only one with a bikini on, so I kind of felt embarrassed.
Wow, Sandy got it all out.
Well, Sandy always does. She doesn't like tan lines. And that's why we went there, because she wanted